We're going to finish off just now with a lovely story which we've been showing in the news bulletins today. It's a very special day for one Sussex family, and it's all to do with this. Now, if you are one of the initiated, you will recognise that noise as the noise of a Spitfire. Now, you may remember in the summer, we were telling you about a World War II pilot, Jack Potter from Brighton, who was immortalised in the new Dunkirk film, and it recreated that movie the moment he was forced to ditch his Spitfire into the Channel during the Dunkirk evacuation. Today, his hometown of Wallasey on Merseyside is naming a street in his honour. It's not just any old street as well. This is a section of the town's esplanade right next to the River Mersey, so it's a lovely location. And his family are in Liverpool for the ceremony today. Rob Potter from Brighton is on the line to us now. Hello, Rob.
Good morning.
Special day for us. Now, just remind us of the story of your dad and the ditching of the plane.
Okay, well, he was in a dogfight over Dunkirk, and as he left that dogfight, because he'd run out of ammunition, he got hit in the wing, and it took out his oil cooler, so a little while after, his engine seized up. So rather than bail out, he saw a small ship down below, and so he thought he'd try and land near it, which he did, and unlike in the film, he managed to remember to open his cockpit canopy before he hit the water, so he didn't get stuck inside it in the same way. And he was picked up by a French fishing boat, not one of the little English little ships, picked up by a French fishing boat, and they then steered to Dunkirk, where they helped to try and drag a wrecked destroyer off the beach, but had to give up eventually because the Germans came back and bombed it. And then they took some men off that destroyer, which is called the HMS Basilisk, and went back towards England, and eventually they got transferred to an English coastal vessel, and the French fishing boat went back to France.
What a fantastic...
So it's quite an adventurous day, really. Even more so than the character in the film. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Quite a story. And so you're in Liverpool today. This is, just sum up how you're feeling today ahead of all this. It's quite moving for you, isn't it?
Well, I'm proud. I mean, Dad was a very modest bloke, didn't talk about the war, as most people of his generation didn't. But what really important for me is that he died before any of my sons were born. And so they know him only as, a picture, photos. But this has actually made it all a bit more real for them. And also, all of my Potter cousins are here as well. So every descendant of my dad's dad is here, apart from my own granddaughters who are still back in Sussex.
Wow.
So that's really nice. A big family gathering for the biggest one there's ever been, I think.
Well,
one of them's come from Australia and one of them's come from Canada.
Sounds fantastic. Well, the unveiling of Jack Potter Street, we are sure it'll go well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rob. Rob Potter there, who's in Liverpool this morning. That's it for breakfast.